man. Knowing that this is not our rest, so we can win our rest, man, and be counted worthy to stand before Yahweh Shai. And that's why Yahweh Shai said, it's a little while that I'll be with you, but I won't be with you, or something like that. Then they wondered what he meant by that. I think that's in down. Yeah, that's it. John 16 and 16, right. John chapter 16. John chapter 16 verse 16. A little while and ye shall not see me. And again a little while and ye shall see me. Because I go to the Father. Right, because you won't see me for a little while. But after a little while, a certain time at times, you're going to see me again because I'm going to come back. Right? Then said some of his disciples among themselves, what is this that he saith unto us? A little while and ye shall not see me. And again a little while and ye shall not see me. And because I go to the Father. And they said therefore, what is this that he saith? A little while. We cannot tell what he saith. Right? Now Yahweh Shai knew that they were desirous to ask him, and said unto them, do ye inquire among yourselves of that I said? A little while and ye shall not see me, and again a little while and ye shall see me. Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice. And ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy. Because it will be turned to joy, man, when our Lord come back. And the scripture says, we're going to be a friend and give all glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahshua when we're in the church, man. Okay? It says, a woman, when she is in travail, have sorrow, because her hour is come. But as soon as she is delivered of the child, she remembereth no more the anguish for joy that a man is born into the world. Right, because when you go to Revelation 21, it says that the Lord will wipe away all tears from our eyes, man. And we're not going to remember the sorrows that we went through. You know, we will remember, but we're not going to dwell on that, man. We're not going to dwell on the things that happened aforetime, you know, the anguish of our captivity, right? We're not going to dwell on that. That's going to be something I've forgotten. The only thing left of that time of hell of our people will be the desert that was formerly known as America, filled up with all manner of desert-like creatures. So it says, verse 22, and ye know therefore, and ye now, Salakia, therefore have sorrow, but I will see you again, and your heart shall rejoice, and your joy no man taketh from you. Right, because it's going to be an everlasting kingdom. Right? It's going to be an everlasting dominion that no man can take away. That's Revelation, not Revelation, but Daniel's, the 7th chapter. A kingdom that shall never fade. Roughly paraphrasing. And in that day, ye shall ask me nothing. Verily, verily, meaning truly, truly, I say unto you, whatsoever ye ask, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father in my name, he will give it you. So that's the point there. That's the point I want to bring out there. Right? That, you know, Yahweh Shai, in a little while, back then he said to the disciples, he won't be with them. And that's when they will begin to mourn. Right? And a book of remembrance came before the prophets. There's that book of remembrance talking about the scriptures. Let's get that. That's an arm. So it says, Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. Then they that feared Yahweh, or the Lord, spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. Read that again. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another. So that's that gathering, you know, from the east to the west, or by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the highness. So on a spiritual level, we're being gathered together, right, by the ministry of the elder apostles on down, starting with Abba Bivens. We are being gathered onto that name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. And there was a book of remembrance that was written before us, man. Let me read it. Salakia. It was written before him for them that feared the Lord and that thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. The Lord going to spare those very same men that remembered Yahweh Shai, because naturally when we're fasting and we're mourning, who are we remembering? We're remembering Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, right? That's what it's saying naturally. There's like in Egypt there shall be an altar, right? Because we're sacrificing ourselves for his cause, man. Right? You guys are Israelites. You're Israelites. You know about the Israelites? Well, what country? What country? Yeah. Sierra Leone, I think it's something Lion or something like Mount of Lions. Or the Sierra Leoneans, or the Bantu, West Africa, or Israelites. That the Nigerians, the Ghanaians, you're one people. With origins, you came from the land of Israel.
How about Jamaica?
Yeah, also, yeah, exactly. But now, when you go into the Bible now, it tells you that the Israelites were put on slave boats and sold to their enemies, both man and woman. The the Bible tells you that's the curses that are came upon the Lord's people. So you're not black people and stuff, you're not black, you're not African, you're none of those things. Okay? So in fact, let me just read it. This is Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68, right? It says, and the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, right? So it says, by the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. So you heard that, right? So the Lord's chosen people, part of the curses was that, you know, the transatlantic slave trade, right? Those came from like Ghana, Congo, like the West Africans. So that's talking about us. So if you go to church, they're not going to teach you that in church. They're not going to show you those things, because they'll show that the white Jesus and the white angels. A lot of our people can't. You go to church, you can't really relate to it. It's like you think it's a white man's thing. But really, the Bible was always about us. We disobeyed God, so God brought evil upon us. That's why we can't get along. You see, that's the people we rob, we do evil to one another. In fact, let me get that. That's another. That same chapter that I was read from, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eyes shall be evil towards his brother, right? And towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of his children which he shall leave. So the man that's among us, he was once benevolent or kind, but now he's going to have evil towards his own brother and his woman. So you see a lot of so-called black men evil towards one another, gangs, stuff like that. That's part of what I was reading about. You know, so the point is that the Most High brought this upon us, and us being underneath the so-called white man, that's all part of it, right? But we're here to say that, listen, the time of the so-called white man is going on, right? We read about Babylon being destroyed and stuff like that. That's America being destroyed by nuclear power. So, you know, it's deep, you know? It's deep. How can I say? So lucky. In fact, let me get this. This, I want to show you the image of the one you call Jesus Christ, isn't it? This is Revelations chapter 1, verse 1, right? It says the revelation of, it says Jesus Christ, which is really Yahweh Shai. That's the real way to say his name. Which God gave unto him to show unto the servants things which must shortly come to pass, right? So talking about the revealing of the Messiah. So it says, verse 13, and in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, which is him, clothed with a garment down to the foot, like what you're seeing me wearing now. They even see that in like certain West African countries. They wear those the shikis, those garments. And it's Ghana and everything like that. With a garment down to the foot, and girt about the paps of a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. So he had woolly hair like these brothers.
Oh, here then.
He had a white woolly hair. And his eyes were as a flame of fire, because he drank a lot of wine. Right? And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace. That's how dark, like your feet, you got called very dark feet, because you're dark skin, your complexion is dark. So that's our Lord, that's a very dark skinned man. So that's who you're praying to. When you're really praying, or you know, you really come into the truth,
You gotta think of a man that looked like, the Lord looked like you brothers, man. A so-called Negro, right? So, but we've been taught by the so-called white man that there's something wrong with our hair and our skin and our features and stuff like that, right? When actually we're the epitome of beauty, right? You read about the Bible, you're reading about your ancestors. Jeremiah, they were all dark-skinned black men. When you read about the Lord and the disciples, those were all dark-skinned black men. It was us. We wrote these different books, not them. Right? It's only like during like the 1300s, the 1400s. That's when the white man came into power and started painting the angels as being naked angels. That's when all that came about, right? But what we're doing is very important, right? So let's go tell our people to repent, and come back to Yahweh Shemi I was there before this time comes. Because that so-called black man is going to come at the end of all this to deliver us from our enemies. You see, when I told you that we were sold to our enemies, we're going to be saved from our enemies by that same man, our Messiah, a black man. Right? So, you see our people always trying to hang around these other nations. This is teaching you how to love yourself. Okay. Right? What we're doing is that we're teaching brothers and sisters like yourselves to love yourselves. Right? Because there's a lot of self-hatred that we have and stuff like that. But guess what? We have a Messiah. And we gotta have faith and trust that at the end of this time, when all this happens, our Lord is gonna come to save us from our enemies. But you know how the Lord is gonna come? He's gonna come as a black man, but how is he gonna come then? You know, you go to church. Did they tell you how the Lord is gonna come? You know, huh? No, I mean like when he comes back. How is he gonna come back? Because remember, he's gonna deliver us, right? So how is he gonna do that? In what vehicle or what? They never took that. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go to church every Sunday, innit? What kind of Christian? Methodist. Methodist. Okay, because there's different ones, that Seventh-day Adventist, Jehovah Witness, and so forth. But I'll show it to you quickly because you probably gotta go in. This is Matthew's. Matthew chapter 24, verse 30. So it says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven," meaning the firmament. "And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." See, the clouds is referring to the chariots. And those chariots are what the white man calls UFOs. Do you understand? So the Lord is going to save us from this, which is the great destruction that's coming. It will happen. Right? Nuclear fire by the Russians and all the other powers and kingdoms on America. America's going to be destroyed forever. And we're going to be saved. Those that believe and trust in his name, we're going to be saved in this quote-unquote UFOs. That's how our Lord is coming back, with power and glory. This is going to be the end of this man's time and the beginning of our time. Because we're going to rule on earth forever. Having just been saved, we're going to rule and dominate all things. All the people are going to serve us. Right? You're going to have servants. We're going to live for eternity. That might sound crazy, that might sound madness to you now, right? But these are things that will happen. Right? Our Lord is a black man. Now that's the man you're praying to. Okay? And we're the prophets, we come out here to prophesy of his coming. Right? But anyway, with that, you know, I told you gotta go also. Okay. Yeah. With that, but that was 40 minutes, man. I'll stop on that. I'm gonna close out. We're gonna say, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba Hashem, Wakar Kodash, Kwam Yasha'ala, Kwam Yasha'ala, Kwam Yasha'ala, Yahweh Ba Hashem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha.